Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of Tales with TR. It would be 220A. I'm your host, Terry Ryan Jr., and I'm here to tell you from beautiful Sudbury, Ontario, that we're almost done filming Shoresy Season 4. We got our wrap party tonight. Looking forward to that. Big, long weekend, usually. We're working in some capacity. I've got a big scene on Tuesday, but other than that, we're going to have the next few days to fill in some blanks. I run some errands, so to speak, if they're online or whatever. But I come up here and put my life on hold, and I do have a daughter at home and, lots to catch up on, this podcast being one of them. But you'll be happy to know that this week, through the chaos of filming Shoresy Season 4, what a fun week, but what a busy week. And if you follow me on Instagram, you're probably already aware of that. I've been posting a lot, and we've had an awesome time, but a lot of scenes, a lot of lines, and a lot of different context, a lot of moving parts. And my buddy Taran Sanwith visited with his awesome daughter, Chloe, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But the first thing I was going to get into is my guest. My guest later today is Dave Scatchard. Now, Scatch, awesome player. We have a lot in common. When I tell the story about leaving to go play junior at 14 in the Rocky Mountain League, I played in Quesnel while Dave was in Kimberley for the Dynamiters. And then when I went to the Western League to play for Tri-City, Dave went and he was drafted to the Portland Winterhawks. So he played in Portland, which those that know the Western League is in the Western Division. So being in Tri-City, we would play them quite a bit. I always loved Portland. We'll talk a little bit about that, hopefully. And Dave has an awesome story. Second rounder, I remember it was more potential than anything. And I'm not being insulting to him at all. He was a good player. Two-way, I really respected him. Like a lot, I respected him. Like he gave it everything he had. And he really, and knowing his story now, I've heard him on Missing Curfew. I've heard stories about, I believe he shot like 100 pucks a day from the time he was like 8 or 9 years old. You got to put time in. I've also heard him say, there's millions of players out there. And I totally agree. My whole life, I'm a big believer. A lot of people around this say, you got to have some level of talent, but you have to put some time in. And even if, for me, a lot of it was subconscious. It would have been like street hockey and stuff. But if you're playing street hockey against your buddies that are on your all-star hockey team and you're doing it all day, I guess that's the kind of the roots of me playing ball hockey. And, like you're going to get better. Right? You're going to get better. Dave shot, I will hear the story, but at least 100 pucks a day. And I've heard it a few times. And we have a lot of mutual friends. I've spoken to Dave online, but I'm kind of looking forward to having a discussion. I'm going to say face to face, but as close as you're going to get in this world. And we got a lot in common, man. Like I said, he actually wrote a book recently called The Comeback. And to finish my thought from earlier, I often ramble. I'm saying when he was it was potential. I could see a lot of potential, but I was surprised. If you check it, he only played like 20 odd games in the minors. Right, he went straight to the NHL, and for good reason. I mean, I'm just saying I didn't really see that happening. I can't wait to ask him about that. Like there was all kinds of us that were drafted. I mean, I'm talking to you. I went in the top 10. Damon Lankow, 5th. Like I said, Brian Bird, Wade Redden, Jerome McGinley. There was lots of great players. Not that he wasn't one of them, but he made it faster than pretty much everybody. Like I said, 26, 27 games in the minors. And if I know Dave, and I don't know him really well, but I think I do from reading snippets of his book. I've got to get a copy. I feel bad that I didn't read it, but I think I'm going to ask him, I'm going to send him a book. He'll probably send me his. There you go. We'll make a trade. But I just know these things from watching. I've seen him on Up My Hockey, a podcast my buddy Jason Podolin does. He's been on here, and he was on Missing Curfew. He had a pretty good pod on there. But like Dave is interesting because he has such a wild story about his hockey career. I know he moved around, and he tells a story about going to a camp one year, and he didn't have a lot of money for a hotel. His dad didn't, but his dad worked. But I get it. My dad was a teacher, and that's not necessarily my mom didn't work much, so middle class, I suppose. But I mean, I love that he was a teacher, and we were never lacked for anything. But when he came out west with me at 14 and came back, and our house was kind of ransacked, and it was an insurance loophole. They lost a lot of money on the move with me, and they sacrificed a lot. I don't want to sit here and tell you. I know some people sacrifice more, and I believe Dave is probably one of those people. But I'm just saying I can identify with a guy that works hard, and as a young player, he knew he had a chance, but you do what you can. It's why I went to Cornell in the first place. And the stories get so fantastical, and you're chasing this. Your chase for the puck leads to a chase for dreams, and it's not only hockey. You realize along the way there's a level of fame to it, and then a great living if you can. Even in the minors, I was making 100 Canadian in the minors. You've got money and all these things, and it's weird at the time. You're always striving for something more, and for me, there was always a level of adversity, of course. I mean, there is to anything you do, but I just really, when I hear Dave talk, I'm like, this is a guy who appreciates it. And I had a concussion, and my descent from, the elite class of NHL prospects, it humbled me. And when I look back and you know, you take the good with the bad, but I'm like, it really was, of course, at the time you want to play more, and I would have loved to be an NHL star. And I know that I kind of screwed up my career that way when it comes to the on ice heroics that happen in a player's career that gets as far as the NHL. Now I look at it with appreciation. I'm glad I played there, and it's great. And I know that not making it, here I am now. And I had to deal with so much adversity, but my daughter saw that, and she sees that if you work hard and you try to spread positive vibes, that good things might happen. I hate to say they will happen, because not everybody's as fortunate as me, but you can put yourself in the position for it to happen. And I know that Sketch kind of has that story. I don't know it start to finish, but I know he had some concussions in between. I don't know how early they happened. We'll get into that. But he's a fighter, man. And I don't mean just on the ice, because he was a fighter on the ice. And he, like I said, he was a middleweight. He fought up. Just check it out. And he didn't pick his spots. He was a fucking great teammate. He would hit, he would fight, he would score, whatever you needed done. Kill penalties, block a shot with my face if I got to. I'm Dave Sketcher, and I'm a hockey player, damn it. That's Sketch. So anyway, he just had some concussions, and he couldn't come back, and he was in a dark place. And, I guess just he started helping people, and a mix of things. He'll tell you about it, but I think a lot of it was just maybe finding God. I don't know if he uses the word God, but it's definitely a spiritual journey. People that listen to this know that I'm not religious. I don't follow any particular religion. Doesn't mean I'm an atheist. I'm spiritual, and sometimes what you think might be God, or what I think might, I don't know, what you explain as God, I might explain as positive energy, and it's probably the same thing. When people say, you look inward and you find this God within, I mean, it's finding your soul. I don't know. Maybe there is. Maybe it is. Exactly. Maybe Moses did go up and get the commandments. I mean, I really don't know. But I really don't think so. And I can't bring my brain to accept that. But I can bring my brain to accept there's probably a higher power of some sort. Is it a person making decisions? I really don't know. Is it an overall universal consciousness that we all kind of live and achieve? And if we're good to living things and the earth, things will be good to us. Maybe that's as close as I can get to a belief in any higher power or any afterlife. And I truly believe that it's not. I truly believe that I don't specifically believe anything in particular, but I spend as much time meditating, working on my own inner self, the version of what most people consider a soul. I consider that my God. I'm directing it. There's an energy directing me, but I'm in charge of that. And I could be right, I could be wrong, but that's not going to hurt anybody, right? That my belief is just be good, use what the people in your life who you consider to be good people have led you to believe that is your moral compass, that's morally correct, being my parents, my teammates, the people that are successful around me, that love me, that respect me, that trust me. You live and you learn, and you get closer and closer to whatever that soul, that better version of you is inside, to project onto other people in a positive way, and just to try to be a good human. That's again, and that's why I just don't see how there could be any conflict or tension in that mindset. That's another thing I have. Like, some religions might say they have that mindset, and they do, but it leads to war or violence, or there's often, and I'm even looking at Catholics. Yes, I'm not just talking about terrorists that are from a religion that might scare you or whatever. I'm talking about Catholics, Protestant, whoever, extreme religious people that look at the world in a very specific way that might be stories relayed from thousands of years ago. I don't know if that's the right way to go. And if people don't listen to you, kill them. I don't know. And a lot of religions really do think that either if you don't deserve to die, then afterwards, if you don't accept our God, then you're going to hell and you're going to burn with the devil. Now, you could be a good person, but if you just don't accept the God that we're giving you, you're going to burn for eternity. Just think about that. Burn for eternity. Why do I want to follow a religion that makes me associated with it based on fear? And I just never identified with that. I didn't. But there are lots of people that believe little parts of that religion without really thinking that they're going to rot in hell if they have sex before marriage or some shit, right? Or they steal a fucking bag of Doritos, right? Now you got to rot in hell forever because you sinned and you didn't repent to a God that you don't even know it exists. That I can keep going, but that's the reason that I don't specifically follow any religion. It certainly punishes me, especially with eternal fire. What the fuck? 5 minutes for fighting is one thing. Eternal fire. Yeah, okay. Fuck, relax, dude. Whatever. Sure. Anyway, I have a big belief in energy and humankind. And like I said, my spirituality, most of it comes from within. The higher power I seek, I don't really know. I just trust is there. There you go. So Sketch is coming up. And by the way, so Taran Samwith came down. His daughter Chloe wants to be a director, and she came and down. She came to set for a day, and Taran also came. We went out for a bite. Thanks, guys. By the way, they took care of it again. Sam took care of it, I should say. But Chloe did drive me around in her new Jeep. It's awesome. She has one like Penny Lane and I have. It was a very fun couple of days visiting with them. But anyway, yeah, they were nice enough, the people here at Shoresy, to take Chloe in and show her a little bit of the ropes, how a day on set works, all the different departments, how to read a call sheet. Took her over by the monitors. It's one thing to learn a little bit. Chloe's a very driven, focused individual that I'm sure is going to be an asset on a film set someday. She's mature beyond her years. She's only going into grade 12, but already has a huge interest and knows what she wants to do. And not only do I wish her the best, but because of that, I said, you know what, Sam, man, you've done me enough favors, man. And he really has. Without even getting into them, they're personal, but just unreal. He's one of my best friends in the world. I would have done it anyway, but Chloe really knows what she's doing. And as soon as we got onto the set, Jared and Kara and the Skeen brothers and anybody involved with the show immediately knew that she meant business. She was focused, and they gave her the royal treatment. And I'm glad, Chloe, that you got to do that. I wish you all the best. And Sam, man, it was awesome to see you again. We're going to have you on Tales with TR again real soon. You guys heard my last podcast about why I wear number 14. Never asked people to go and listen to any episode, but please, if you haven't listened to that, listen to that. Means a lot to me. My friend Todd Clausen that I was talking about, well, Taran Samwith, the Sandman I often speak of, as you know, was a friend of Todd's and a teammate. Sandman's like 6 years older than me. Todd was in the middle, 3 years. So he started playing with Taran, and then I came in. Taran was moved on. I played with Taran in pro. But anyway, he was Todd's good buddy and teammate. Anyway, I got to take off. I got to go get an outfit for tonight. That sounds very pretentious, but it's true. I got to go to this rap party. I want to. We're having our rap party tonight. And yes, the way it works is that in film, you often have the rap party before you're actually wrapped, just for timing purposes. But I don't. I'm not going to go in a tracksuit, and I didn't really bring much here with me. Just one second. Is this Penny Lane? I'm just wrapping up my pod. I'll call you back in 30 seconds. Okay. The daughter has spoken, folks. Anyway, yeah, without sounding pretentious, I got a bunch of ripped jeans and tracksuits and Lululemon. And, I don't dress like a streel, but I want to go to the rap party in something nice. So I think me and Goody, Andrew the Cannon Anson, are going to head over now and try to last minute shop, if nothing else. At least a suit jacket to go with my jeans or something. Anyway, now I'm just rambling. And duty calls. I got to call my daughter back, and she's got a big night ahead of her. They just had an awesome soccer year, and they got a party tonight to celebrate it. More power to her. She's 14, going on 27. So I know what that can feel like. All I can do is lead her in the right direction and hope for the best. You know, I give her a lot of freedom, and I trust her. And these years are a lot different than just a few years ago. Anybody who has a 14, 15-year-old knows it's a lot different than even a 9 or a 10-year-old. And she's growing up. She's a great girl, and she's got great friends, and couldn't be in a better spot for it in Mount Pearl, Newfoundland. Folks, if you're downtown St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador, here's where I think you should visit if you want to have a beer or just a good time on George Street. The Bull and Barrel, TJ's Pub, the Martini Bar, Greensleeves Pub, Rob Roy Confusion, the Bull and Barrel, and Trinity Pub. If you want a bite to eat, real close, just down parallel on Water Street, right there, stone's throw away, Blue on Water, and of course, Merchant Tavern. Jesus, I always forget to say that. Loose Tie is also available right now for bookings. My ex-wife, Penny Lane's mom, Danielle, is doing a great job. Shout out to Danielle Young, doing rather well. And Loose Tie is an awesome spot. Shout out to my buddies Stephen Hancock and Jody Temple as well. Mr. Lube's, 2 locations in St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. Live, laugh, Lube. One's on Torbay Road, one's on Kenmount Road, of course. Live, laugh, Lube. Of course, Peter Wedgwood, Wedgwood Cafe. They also do catering. Check it out, Wedgwood Cafe on Elizabeth Avenue. Ryan Power, Power Conditioning. Take what's yours. Oh, my God. Wow, is my mind wandering. Take what's yours. True Hockey, take what's yours. And Ryan Power, Power Conditioning. Strength and balance for the body and mind. And, of course, Pitbull Pain Relief. Pain sticks that just don't quit, folks. I'll be back in just a couple of days with more Tales with TR. Really looking forward to Dave Scatchard. Okay, I'm off to have a coffee, a shower, and buy myself an outfit. Thanks for tuning in. Dave Scatchard coming right up on the next Tales with TR. Thanks for tuning in, folks.